Couple of drawing giveaways, so I'm going to use that sign-in sheet, and we've got a few pieces of swag we're going to give away to you guys here today. So I want to thank you for coming today, and I'll let Derion take it.
Hi, welcome everyone. I'm Derion Schieber. Some of you, I'd love to see familiar faces in here, but I'm Derion Schieber. I am a little bit of background because maybe some of you don't know who I am. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas, so I'm not originally from Ponca City. I married a farmer here in Ponca City, and the rest is history. I have two beautiful kids, Luke and Ava, and I have one on the way. So it's funny that they mentioned that I was pregnant last time. I was way more pregnant than I am now. But yeah, so we have a third on the way too. So we'll be a family of three, which is so fun. But I also own, so yes, we're here to talk about Harvest Hall, but just to know too, I own the Farmhouse Kids Baby Boutique. I have to give a spiel for that downtown. We carry sizes newborn to preteen right now, but this is kind of what led me to entrepreneurship. I am a serial entrepreneur. I have ideas all the time. I have a book at home that has all of these ideas. You know, really my passion for entrepreneurship is just bringing needs to the community that I see fit, and this was one of them. So with the Harvest Hall, what kind of started, I went down to the city in Frisco, and I saw a baby boutique, and they had like a room connected to their baby boutique for baby showers, and I was like, that is really clever. I'm like, huh. And you know, for me, when I was here in Ponca City looking for wedding venues, baby shower venues, I just couldn't find anything that spoke to me. So that's what originally started Harvest Hall. We launched in 2022, so we're going up on 2 years. I told my husband, I was like, we'll just do it for a year. We'll just see how it goes. We'll just try it out. And here we are 2 years later of this success, so we're super excited about it. Kind of some background, I love downtown Ponca City. I love historic buildings. That's where I want to be. And so I'm nosy. I drive around all the time. Macy knows this. I'm like, what's going in here? What's going in here? And I saw the John's Apparel building, and I was like, if you know, that's second in Cleveland, it's kind of right across the street, what used to be a brick house grill. And nothing was in it, and it was a great space, and I was like, So I figured out who owned it and messaged them. I was like, I have this idea, can I come look at it? And honestly, this building was perfect for what I had envisioned. It has a beautiful courtyard, and you'll see pictures of it. And the lighting was great, and I was like, this is it. This is where I want to be. So I asked them, I pitched them my idea, and they're like, go for it. Let's try it out. So I signed a year lease, but I knew I could not do this alone. I already own a business. That takes a lot of my time. And so Jasmine I knew just as a customer in Farmhouse Kids, but she also worked at the root shop. She couldn't be here today, but she is my yin to my yang for both businesses. Now she works with me, and she is literally amazing. But yeah, I have a huge passion for Ponca City. I just have a huge passion for entrepreneurship. Sometimes my husband doesn't like that because I have all these ideas all the time, and I'm like, I gotta reel it down. I have big dreams, and so 2 of them have came to fruition, so we're pumped about it. Jasmine's a mother of 3. She designs incredible work. She does a lot of our social media, and she's a huge help for me in managing it. What is the Harvest Hall? So it's an event hall and studio located in historic Ponca City in the old Union bus station. So if you didn't know, the old John's Apparel building was the Union bus station, and I'll have pictures of that. But it was a place where people would gather from all over. I have stories to this day, people that rented out and they're like, I picked up my grandma from this store, or I picked up my relatives from this bus station, or I traveled XYZ. And so those are stories that are always so cool to hear, especially I'm really big into the history of downtown Ponca City. It's 1,200 square feet, and we host so many events, baby showers, reunions. We had a really cute reunion. It was like a 50th wedding anniversary. And he got this limo and traveled to all of his special places in Ponca that they had their first dates. And I was like, I got to be a part of that. Like, that was so cool. Business meetings, photography studio. We have great lighting, and I'll kind of talk through that. But that's the outside of our building. This is the old John's Apparel sign, still there. This was also the Union bus station sign, and I'll talk through that. So it is original. My plans is to redo that, but it costs a little bit of money to do that. But we'll do that eventually, hopefully. I'll have you, A little bit about our venue. So I really wanted to create like a blank canvas for this venue. somewhere where it was very neutral, trendy, but any event could be hosted here and not feel like it had a theme to it. So we created our very own custom tables for this space. I had a guy out of Tulsa create our very own tables to fit this space perfectly. They're modern, they're lightweight, and so they can be moved. That was another thing you have to keep in mind when you're thinking about event space is a lot of people like to move their stuff to their needs, and so you needed tables that were lightweight, durable, that could be moved around. Something that I'm super proud about is we're all inclusive with our amenities. I want you to be able to walk into our venue, have your event, have everything you need, don't have to go anywhere else and have it there with no extra cost, right? So we have a variety of amenities. We have a smart TV, Keurig, refrigerator, microwave. The only thing we don't have is an oven, but with most of our events that we have, we don't really need stuff like that. We just need something small like a refrigerator, ice maker, things like that. This is one of my favorite parts of our space, and what really makes it unique is our courtyard. So it's beautiful. Hopefully we have plans to like really make, I want to find out who does the can gardens and do that, but it is absolutely beautiful, our courtyard. It's covered with trees all year round. In the fall, here in about 3 weeks, it'll be covered in fall leaves, which is also kind of a pain, but it's beautiful in the fall time, especially with our weather. We have seating on the back side, and then on the front side, we have seating too. Again, my idea for style, you really have to kind of match with what's already there. Industrial, modern, trendy is really what this space is all about. With an event space, you want to make it kind of unique and trendy with what time is, and that's what makes Harvest Hall so unique. We also have cornhole games, so our courtyard is one of our favorites that our customers really enjoy because they can go outside, play cornhole games, have the kids go outside and play. So it's a really fun space. Another big thing is that it is a historic charm, right? So this is the old picture of the Union Bus Station. As you can see, the sign is here. This is what the courtyard would have been, and then the front, a lot of it is very the same. It hasn't changed. This is the inside. The inside has changed. With our space, it's kind of split up into 3 things. So you got Harvest Hall, and then you got Edward Jones in the back, and then you have some Airbnbs at the front. But everything is very much the same on the inside. We have the original tiles, ceiling tiles that are on the front, and they're painted black. It looks absolutely beautiful with the high ceilings. We're really proud that we kind of maintain this historic site. Especially with downtown Ponca City. I'll throw in Main Street. They have a little Times app, and so if you ever are around, the little timeshare, it's not timeshare, but time frame app, there's one right in front of Harvest Hall, and you can kind of see what it is in 3D view of what it used to look like back in the day, and it's really, really cool. Another thing about our space that I'm not too familiar with, but it's really taken light, is the photography. I am no photographer. I know nothing about it. I have good friends that are photographers. But one thing I did know was the lighting in Harvest Hall is honestly impeccable when it comes to photography. And so we have photographers that partner up with us, rent our venue, and do photography sessions. We have maternity. We have family first, which is so sweet. Family photos, Christmas photos, anything you can think of, they use our space for. And we're really proud to provide that. Here in Ponca City, because a lot of photographers, especially when it starts getting cold here, they don't have somewhere to go to take indoor photos. So we're able to provide a much needed need in our community for our other small businesses and entrepreneurs. Our pricing, so this was really hard because honestly we didn't really have anything on the market like us. That was in the same realm, and so when we're thinking about our ideas, I know nothing about event rentals, know nothing about that. I don't own Airbnbs. So before I even started this, I had to reach out to a bunch of people. And luckily, usually, people are really helpful. If you're ever an entrepreneur and have ideas, just reach out to other people that are in your industry. Usually, they're going to be pretty helpful. And so that's what I did. I reached out to a bunch of event spaces down in OKC and Tulsa, because that's really popular down there. You'll see that. And so I just started reaching out to them to get an idea of what their pricing and their pricing structure was. So we have a 3-hour minimum, and that starts at $225. That minimum is because, usually when you're having a baby shower, you need a lot of time. So we started with a minimum, and then we have different packages from there. This would definitely be our most popular with the 3-hour rental, because a lot of our events that you see are baby showers, wedding showers, things like that. That don't take too much time. And really, a lot of this and why our space is needed is a lot of people, especially during COVID, didn't want people in their house, and so they wanted somewhere else to go to meet, and this is where this came in handy. How to book. This was something that was super important to me as a business owner and a consumer, was making this as easy as possible to book. I didn't want to light anything up for discretion. You have some event spaces that, one, don't put their pricing out, which I disagree. I want to be completely transparent with all of my pricing. Two, and honestly, owning a second business, I don't have time to answer a bunch of questions, so I wanted to make it as easy as possible for my consumers to book. So that was another thing that was new, is I had to create my own website, which nowadays is really honestly not too hard. I've created both websites for both Farmhouse and Harvest Hall. There's great platforms, Squarespace. You just have to be a little tech savvy. But we created our own website, and it comes with an app. So it was very, very pretty easy on that side of it. But everything can be booked online. So you go to our website, and I'll show you guys after. You go to our website, there was a video that played. You click what event. You'll pay half down at the time of booking, and then the other half won't be due 10 days prior. We'll send you an email. But really the idea with this is like straightforward. You can book it on your phone. A lot of people book it on their phone. You don't have to call. You don't have to email me, which is much different than my other business. My other business is very customer facing, where this is, I don't get to see my customers usually, which is hard because I'm very extroverted and love to communicate, love to see how it went. And that's why I love brick and mortar so much with Farmhouse Kids. But with Harvest Hall, it's just a completely different platform that is used. Another thing that is super special that I love to do is hosting social events. So as you know, here in Ponca City, there's a lot to do actually. Almost every weekend we have something. Like this weekend we have Oktoberfest. Next weekend, I'm sure there's other fundraising events happening, but something that was really important to me was creating a space that we could have friends come gather for social events, girls' night out. We've had cake making classes. We've had the famous Tipsy artists come for our Valentine's event. You can see we have a full house for this. And really the idea, what's so special about this is our tables, right, are kind of community style, so you come with your girlfriends, but you'll sit with strangers. And that's what's been really cool, is by the end of the night, they're not strangers anymore. They become friends. And so you get to meet other girlfriends, other friends, just like you, having a girls' night out. And that's been honestly the funnest part of all of this, is seeing other friendships blossom throughout this process. So we've had Tipsy artists. We partnered up. A lot of these are also small businesses, and so as you can tell, I'm really passionate about small business. So we reach out to other small businesses, entrepreneurs in Ponca City for this. So Soan, hopefully you know Soan. She does the flower farm here in K County. She's amazing. She does our Build Our Own Bouquet event. She's also coming back for her famous wreath making class, which will be up in December 8th, and I'll kind of talk through that. But we had a wreath making one last year, and it was a huge hit. And then just last weekend on Sunday, we had our candle making one. That was so fun. We had Lola out of Wichita. Macy attended that one. And you got to make your own candle, and it honestly was the coolest experience ever. And then we have a cookie decorating one. But I love social events. I love bringing unique things to Ponca City that you would probably get in the city, but maybe not in Ponca. That's kind of my passion. Big city gal, small town. Bringing some of those experiences here in Ponca City is something I'm super passionate about. Big thing about Harvest Hall too was something that I knew was important was photography. Especially in business too, getting professional photos of your business is so important. With your phone, you can take great photos. With Lightroom, all of that, you can filter anything and make it look good. But I will say getting professional photos of your business is 100% worth the cost. We've done that for Farmhouse. We've done that with Harvest Hall, and I'm so glad we did, especially when you want to be nominated for awards, things like that. It also just brings a sense of like professionalism to your business. and upscaling that. And I knew that was important for our space. And so we partnered up with Kaylee Anderson, which some of you know her. She's in our leadership class. She's an amazing photographer. So she's taken all of our photos for Harvest Hall and Farmhouse. So she's taken all of our photos, and this was super important to us. So yeah, you can see the tables. You can see back here our little kitchenette area. We have this cute little seating area. Aesthetics are everything, as you guys know this, especially in the day we live in, and so making it look really pretty, simple, and blank canvas was super important to me. And making a little seating area for people to casual. And then again, you've seen some of these pictures. We also placed a mirror. You guys know selfies are really important, so a lot of our photographers and like girls, they'll take selfies in our mirror, and it's honestly so cute, especially in prom dresses and things like that. It's really fun. And then my husband made this barn door, and I'll get to my husband. I always kind of put him at the back burner, but he is like my handyman. He has helped me through all of this. If something's broken, if the air filter needs changed, like he's my guy. I can't do this alone. So I'll let you go. These are just some of the events that we have. Again, what's really unique about Harvest Hall is I don't get to see these customers. They book online. You know, I email back and forth. I have touches with them, right? So they book online. We send them an email. Because, you know, since you're not customer facing, it is important to touch them multiple times to make sure, hey, we're here for you if you need anything, and put a face to the name. But these are some of the events. We did a styled wedding shoot with Kaylee Anderson. She's absolutely incredible last summer. Just to showcase what you can do with this event space. I think that's so important. Yes, you can build an event space, but like, what can you do with it, right? Like, you have to give people ideas. You have to showcase exactly what can be done. And I'll talk to that because when I run Facebook ads and things like that, you'll notice the difference between running just like my other photos, my blank photos, and then running a photo like this or running a photo like this. This gets way more traction, way more booking than just my plain photos because it gives the customers an idea of what this space could be. And just showing customers, like, this is what our space could look like. Jasmine does a great idea. We'll do tablescapes. We'll do social media for it. And just give our customers, like, this is what a Halloween party could look like. This is what a family dinner can look like. So that's something we're really passionate about. Baby showers are one of our most common things. We had prom. We actually had prom pictures again this year. So, and graduations are really big. That's a really big time of year for us. I think Molly, did you do? No, I think it was someone else. Someone did graduation party last year. This is another thing we're super proud about. Just a couple weeks ago, we won 2 awards at the state level. So at Oklahoma Main Street Awards, kind of talk a little bit about that. You have to be nominated at the local level, Ponca City Main Street, and then to get nominated at the state level, you have to be nominated at the local level. And so we competed with multiple businesses across the state for these 2 awards. And I'm no interior designer. Like, my business management is my degree. So when I created this space, like, yes, I have a little bit of design experience, and I had a vision of what I want this space to look like, but by no means am I a pro. So just for any entrepreneurs out there, like, you don't have to have a degree in what you want to do. You just have to have a vision and then execute on that vision, really. So yeah, we won Best Project Under $25,000 and then Best Adaptive Reuse Project. So really, this one is showing, hey, I used this blank building and I made it come to life. And that is something that I have a huge passion for with both my businesses. Empty buildings, bringing them back to life and showcasing and bringing a need to Ponca City. So we're super pumped. That's my husband, Derion Schieber. But he helps me do this, so he had to be in the picture. He goes along with my crazy ideas, unfortunately. But he just supports me, even though sometimes they're bad ideas. He's like, just go for it. Let's try it out. So yeah, we won 2 best projects. We're super proud about that, especially representing Ponca City at the state level is huge, just to showcase, hey, Ponca City's on the map, and we're here to stay. So, okay, we're towards the end. Contact details. We have a great website. I just recommend just checking our website out. If you have questions about building a website, you can reach out to me, but I'm no pro. But I worked digitally, making sure that this website ran smoothly, looks good, and is mobile friendly, and I'll show you a little bit of it. And then that's my email address, and then of course my phone number. This phone number is connected to both my businesses, and it's my cell phone, which is good and bad, but that's the way to reach me. I guess I never talked about the logo. So Farmhouse Kids, if you're familiar with Farmhouse farmhouse kids. It has wheat in it too. We're farmers. Wheat is the main crop for us. We're also in the wheat country. And so I knew that I wanted wheat to be tied together. And then harvest is a huge time for us in June and maybe in October too. But when I was coming up with a name, harvest is really, close to our heart. And so harvest table, harvest hall, we tossed around ideas, and then bingo bango, here came the harvest hall. And when you think about logos and you think about names, like H and H, or like, let's say it's, I don't know, there's one Hudson Hall, there's one in Enid. But making something rhyme together is usually really catchy, and so if you're ever thinking about that, your name actually does matter when it comes to stuff like that. But that's where the harvest hall came about, and that's why we have wheat in our name. I'm going to show my website real fast, and then I'll open up for questions if you guys have any. So, and also on the mobile, it'll look very similar, but maybe a little bit different. That's one thing you have to keep in mind when you're building a website. Mobile and your desktop, you have to make sure that they look well, right? Like with Farmhouse, I have to make sure everything runs correctly. Same thing with this, because 98% of your consumers are going to be on their phone. They're not going to be on the desktop. So making sure your mobile one is really popular. But yeah, everything is on our space. This talks about us. Again, getting professional photos is really important when you talk about rolling out your small business. I think it really does make a difference. I'll go to our homepage, and a lot of this we've already talked about. I just wanted to give you an idea of what our website does look like. We spent lots of time on it, and just to show it's clean, it's concise, it's professional, and that's what people look forward to. Like, hey, this is actually a real business, not just someone on the side of the street kind of thing. But yeah, when you book, you just hit book now. Super easy. Same thing on mobile. And then we do free tours for 15 minutes. But yeah, they just book. They click whichever one that they want, and they just book it. They pick their date. They can kind of see the calendar on here, and then you just fill it out. It's easy as that. We try to make it super easy and user-friendly for our guests, because anytime you make a roadblock, it kind of puts them off guard. So, do I have questions about Harvest Hall? Any questions or questions for me on either business side?
Hey, Derion, I do. So, your capacity, are you booked most weekends, and how far in advance do people need to book?
Yeah.
I imagine you're already getting bookings for graduation.
Yeah, so when I first started, to be fully transparent, you have rent costs, right? And then you have some of your other costs, but I was like, when in doubt, we're just out our rent costs. Hopefully that's not the idea. Hopefully you book out, but we were just hoping to book out. And within a month of us posting it, every weekend we have something usually. So we book, Saturdays are our most popular, right? One thing we're kind of running into as a challenge is what can we do Monday through Thursday to really fill that gap? Because if you think about it from the business side of it, you're capped at how much money you can actually make Friday through Sunday, right? You guys can do the math on my packages. You guys can figure out exactly how much I can make in a year, honestly. So finding that Monday through Thursday has been a challenge. But yeah, we're booked on the weekends. We're seeing now, usually we were booking a month and a half in advance, so kind of short term. Now we're booking 3 months in advance. So that's been really nice to see. We have people November looks great. December for Christmas parties looks great. And then what's funny about that is, so I only signed a year lease. And I had people wanting graduation the following year. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm signing another lease. And so we just kind of take it year by year. But yeah, so we have graduations booked. Weddings have actually, you saw a little bit about that, but we're starting to book a lot more weddings, which is really cool. We have a wedding rehearsal dinner this week. We're fully booked this weekend. We have a wedding rehearsal dinner, a birthday party, and I think a baby shower this weekend. So usually we're booked on Saturdays for sure, every weekend, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this weekend is woohoo! Do a happy dance, because that's awesome. So thanks, Shelly. That was a great question.
What's your capacity?
Oh, capacity. Our capacity is 49. So that's our indoor capacity. That's based on fire marshal. We have 1 bathroom. That was another, as an entrepreneur, you know this too. Getting ADA compliance, things like that for bathrooms. You have to make sure you're with the city. And so with capacity, we are at 49. We do have sprinkler systems and things like that, so we didn't really have to worry about any of those big expenses some of the other business owners are dealing with downtown right now. But yeah, 49. And that's really a good sweet spot right now, especially for weddings, if they're wanting more of an elopement or an intimate wedding. 49 is great, especially budget friendly as well too. So, yeah. Any other? Yeah.
So with events that have food and stuff like that, is that something that the client arranges themselves, or do you help facilitate it?
Yeah, so usually the client does all of that. Usually you see baby showers, they get charcuterie boards. I'm really well connected within the community, so if they're wanting caterers or things like that, I can give recommendations. We see a lot of charcuterie boards, things like that. We don't see a whole lot of meals. Sometimes TS Fork with anniversary dinners and things like that. TS Fork Chef Jeff is amazing. If you don't know what that is, please go to TS Fork. But he'll come out and do a catered dinner for them. But we do usually not provide that. I'm also not an event planner. The whole idea for this space was to kind of run like an Airbnb, for me to be very kind of hands off. So I don't do a lot of if they want decorations or things like that, I can always give them recommendations and say what we have, but we try to just here's your space, this is what you can do with it, bring what you want. That's kind of how it operates, which has been really great for us and successful, because that would be a little bit harder to do. Yeah, great question. Alcohol was another thing that was up with the Able connection. It's really up in the air if you ever know if anyone owns bars or things like that. I had no idea what that looked like. I had to reach to other venues. What's your policy? What's your policy? And policies are just all over the place. And then you have to create a contract. And so, just as an entrepreneur, do your research. Reach out to other, reach out to other business owners. Usually they're so helpful. Lisa was very helpful with my farmhouse kids. So business owners are usually really helpful. And if they're not, they're not in your corner. But other business owners, and you have great resources here in Ponca City, Main Street Chamber that can get you hooked up with whoever you guys need. Any other questions?
What can our community do to help support you?
Yeah, so Harvest Hall, to be transparent, we don't really we don't spend a whole lot on our marketing budget, as you can imagine. We don't have all of the funds to do that, right? Because we have other businesses and things like that. So really word of mouth. What's really great about this space is the more events we have, it markets itself, right? And so that's the idea of it. But really just telling people that we're here, we're downtown. If people are talking about, hey, I'm wanting to host a baby shower. We see it all the time on the community watch pages. There will be the death of me. But if you see someone, hey, I'm looking for a place for a baby shower. Hey, I'm looking at the reunion. Just type in, hey, check out Harvest Hall. Check out Harvest Hall. Word of mouth is huge in Ponca City, as we all know that. We are a small community. We might seem big, but we definitely are a small community, and word of mouth is huge for us. We don't do a whole lot of advertising in newspaper or things like that, just because of funds, but word of mouth has been great, and we really haven't needed to do it. Social media is also really big for us. Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising. We have definitely seen a more bang for our buck for those things on that.